Hello, welcome back, Mirror Academy. If you're new here, welcome. I'm Danger the Positivity Plug, your wellness coach, helping you through burnout, limiting beliefs, and unhealthy patterns to create personal transformation. Thank you for being here. Your presence is truly a gift. I appreciate you. Thank you. I hope you stay a while. So, today's video is about holistic self care practices for moms over 35. Now, I wrote down notes, okay, because I'm a rambler and I want to make sure I give you the information you actually need, okay? My intention for today's video is to help you or give you practices that support nourishing your mind, body, and spirit, okay? If you can focus on those three things, nothing is impossible, all right? With that being said, motherhood after 35 feels less like a sprint and more like sacred choreography, okay? I know you know what I'm talking about because it could get crazy, but somehow it just happens to work, right? You're not just raising children, you're raising yourself too. This season carries a certain gravity. You know who you are a little bit more. You have lost, loved, learned, and rebuilt. Your nervous system has stories. Your body has chapters. Your heart has receipts. And now, in the middle of snack requests and work emails, you are also mid evolution. All right. If you are a first time mother, welcome to the Mama Club. I need you to know that I'm sure that up to this point you have mothered someone in some way at some point before you becoming a mother at 35 years old, okay? So trust in your wisdom, trust in your experiences because that's something that those of us who have had children in our 20s or even earlier did not have to start with. We had to lean on other people's experiences to figure things out. Okay, so as I wrote, there's wisdom in the room with you. Wisdom reminds us that self-care is maintenance, not a luxury. Self-care is maintenance, not a luxury. Okay, self-care is what you use to prioritize yourself, or at least that's what I use to prioritize myself. When I realize I'm not using my self-care practices, I notice like, oh, okay, I haven't taken a moment to just pour into myself. So that's what I'm going to help you with today. So, before we dive into this information, I would like to take a moment to just breathe with purpose and set our intentions. So, before I do any meditating or important meetings or sessions with clients, I like to do box breathing to just center myself. It helps to calm your mind and body. So, what you're going to do is you're going to breathe in for 4 seconds. Hold that breath for 4 seconds, then breathe out for 4 seconds, and then continue to push out for 4 seconds. I will give you an example, okay? 1, 2, 3, breathe in, hold, breathe out, push. That's it right there, okay? So we're going to do that together. You ready? All right, I know it might sound crazy, it might have looked crazy, but I promise you it will help, okay? Let's do it. Breathe in, hold, breathe out, push. You did it. If you feel calm, save this video for your weekly reset, okay? If you need a moment to do it again, take your time. Do what you got to do. Pause the video, take your breaths, come on back. What is holistic self-care? Holistic self-care is caring for your body, mind, emotions, and spirit together in totality, the full package. Could you deserve it? All right. Why do moms over 35 need intentional practices? You know why, but I'm going to explain it. To keep us present. It reminds us to prioritize ourselves, and it creates consistency in caring for ourselves as much as, if not more, than we care for our family. If you are not cared for, it's less likely that you can care for others. Okay. Now, you do bare minimum for yourself, then you're doing bare minimum for your family, you see. And yes, you can be doing bare minimum, you could be in survival mode, but you could be doing more, not because you have to, but because you are capable of it, because you deserve it, right? So I encourage you to let go of hustle culture and perfection. Accept that you are not a new mother. You are a conscious mother. Lean into your wisdom as you give yourself grace during this journey. Remember that you've lived enough life that you have some discernment, that you have some answers that a lot of mothers do not start with. So trust yourself, trust what you know, and in the areas that you're not sure of, use your wisdom to ask for help, ask questions. And if you don't have anyone that you trust, you found me. So here are 14 holistic self care practices that support your wellness. All right. Number one is spiritual baths. Okay. I don't know why some people are weird about taking baths, but I suggest that you take a shower first and then go ahead and soak your body in the bath because it's a different experience. It's a different use. You take a shower to clean your body, but you take a bath to clean your spirit. No, seriously though. Taking spiritual baths, they cleanse your energy as well as your body, you know. So you could do a spiritual bath by using just running bath water and adding like Epsom salt, essential oils, and like, and herbs. I have 3 bath salt blends. I call them bath dust. I have a protection bath dust, a self-love bath dust, and a abundance bath dust. They are for sale on my website, dangerdidit.com. You can also reach out to me personally and you can get them from me also. But yeah, use affirmations, even prayer. If you are a religious person or if you believe in prayer, praying over your water, praying over yourself before you take your spiritual bath and setting those intentions before you get in or while you're in there can be very healing and helpful to your mind, body, emotions, and spirit. In movies, you'll see a woman goes through something crazy, and the first thing she does when she gets home is soak in a bath. And honestly, I think I think baths are transformative. I really do. I truly think that as a woman taking a bath, it really shifts. Um, it shifts your spirit. It does something to you. Um, but and then the best times to take a bath, a spiritual bath specifically for the spiritual worlds during a full moon, you know. But for people who are not into the spiritual thing, after a stressful day of work, after a long week, on Sundays, when the spirit calls for you to take a spiritual bath, you know. And I want you to remember that these practices are not to be a burden, a task. These are opportunities to pour into yourself, So don't make it complicated. Do what feels right to you. I'm just giving you some suggestions. And if you would like further explanation or if want have questions to ask, whatever, again, feel free to reach out to me, whether it be on through my email, dangerdidit.com. I mean, dangerdidit@gmail.com, or the fastest way to contact me probably is through Instagram on my page, Danger Did It. Okay. So yeah, spiritual baths is number one. Number two is herbal tea rituals. Okay. Now, don't get weird about the word ritual. It's just a repeated practice. Okay. I'm not going to get too witchy on you. All right. I am a God fearing woman. I'm a God fearing woman. just for the record. But anyway, herbal tea rituals are, again, it's just a moment. It's an opportunity to pause. It's an opportunity to be present. It's an opportunity to warm your body up. Give yourself something special, you know. Um, as I wrote, tea time, or turn tea time into a pause, not a task. Okay, I don't want it to be, oh, this is another thing on the list of things that I have to do for myself every day. No, this is something that I get to do for myself. Okay. Some examples are one of my three tea blends that I have. My daily tea is immunity, which helps with immune health. I have what I would call a morning tea, would be anxiety, which helps with anxiety, but also helps to, calm you. And then I also have mood tea, which I like to call my nighttime tea, which has more of like a, um, I can't think of I don't know how to describe it, but it's good for stabilizing your mood and helping you to like wind down. Okay. And drinking tea daily, uh, it is known to help support your nervous system and, um, digestive support also, or support your digestive system also. So there are health benefits, there are spiritual benefits, and there are emotional benefits to drinking tea, or having a tea ritual. Okay, that does not mean you have to do it every day. It could be a weekly thing. It could be every Saturday morning while your family's sleeping. You just make a cup of tea and sit in silence and sip. Okay, it doesn't have to be a task. It doesn't have to be like, oh my gosh, I forgot to drink my tea today. Just a moment for yourself. Number three is meditation. Okay, meditation, it rewires stress patterns. In addition to meditating, which is really just, everybody has their own individual, experience. But again, if you need help, reach out to me. I'm more than happy to, guide you through meditation. I also will have some guided meditations available that actually go with my online course, but they are free and available, or they will be free and available on my YouTube, or here on my YouTube page. But in addition to the meditation, I encourage you. I was gonna say you should try. You should do whatever you think you should do, but I encourage you to add breath work, add body scans, and add guided meditations. If you're not sure where to start, you could also use, um, affirmations and prayer while you're meditating, because that also helps with, mental and spiritual alignment. Number four, journaling. I love journaling. Okay. Journaling provides emotional release and clarity, because then you can write out your thoughts and physically choose what you want to pay attention to. So that helps to declutter your mind a little bit. Oh, you can use prompts for postpartum, identity shifts, and boundaries. When it comes to journaling, if you're not sure what to write, or if you feel like, you know, I'm just writing what I'm thinking, what's the point of doing that? Okay. I think there's a huge point in doing that, and you could just do that. However, if you like some support, you could use, journal prompts, specifically for postpartum support, for identity shifts, like, oh, like I wasn't a mom before and now I am a mom. I'm not really sure who I am anymore. Or I was a mother of one and now I'm a mother of three. Like, identity shifts, and setting boundaries, because now that you have added a child or added another child to your life, you need to set boundaries so that you can provide for them and still provide for yourself. Okay. um and then another way that you can, create more of an organized way to journal is to have like, morning pages or like nighttime reflection. So like, say for me in the morning, I like to write about, or I like to journal my thoughts, the things that are on my mind, so that I'm not walking around carrying those thoughts throughout the whole entire day. Some people prefer to write about what they went through throughout the day, or important parts of the day at night, so that they can go to bed, without all those thoughts on their mind. So either way, journaling can help you in a multitude of ways, okay? Again, if you want further explanation or you have any questions, just reach out. Number 5 is skincare. Now, you may say, I get up every day, I brush my teeth, and I wash my face, and I put on lotion. What's wrong with that? Nothing. Nothing's wrong with it. However, you are worthy of more, okay? That's the bare minimum. And we're not doing that anymore, okay? Why? Because you deserve more. So, um, in addition to the fact that you deserve more and you are worthy of a simple skincare routine, because you have to live with your face every day, right? Touch is healing, okay? Self care is a form of self respect. And the more you respect yourself, the more others will respect you. And how you present your face is a way to show that. Also, having a skincare routine helps to promote healthy habits, because if you take good care of your face, you're more likely to take care of the rest of your body, you know? So, how could you do that? You may be thinking, I'm a mama, I'm busy. When and how am I supposed to have a whole skincare routine? Guess what? It doesn't have to be a whole skincare routine. It can be a simple skincare routine. Cleanse, exfoliate if and when needed, tone, moisturize. Tis all, okay? And if you need some pointers on that, I am also going to be doing a video on my skincare routine, and I think also my hair care routine. Um, Also, I suggest that while you're doing your skincare routine, that you say affirmations, that you remind yourself of why you're doing this and that you are worthy of it. And that's not a task, it's not a thing you have to do, it's a thing you get to do and that you're worthy of to make it happen. Number 6, hair care as a ritual, just like with the tea, okay? So now, with hair care, I think a lot of women, they kind of forget about their hair. It's like, I'm just gonna throw it in a ponytail, or I'm just gonna throw it in 2 braids, or I'm just gonna throw a wig on it, or oh, I'm just gonna put a bonnet on. Yes, you could do all those things, and somebody might judge you, and people may not judge you. That's gonna happen regardless. That's not what this is about. The point is that you deserve better. Okay? Why should you have some type of hair care ritual? Because you deserve to reclaim your crown energy and activate your crown chakra. There is a lot of energy here. This is where all of your ideas are. This is where you develop your emotions. All right up in here is where things are happening, okay? So you want to be, I don't want to say in control of that, but you want to be in tune with that. You want to be aligned with your crown. So having a hair care routine is a way that you can be aligned with your hair, with your crown. Um, how can you do that? You can do intentional wash days. So, for example, I don't wash my hair every day. I don't wash my hair every week. I probably wash my hair once a month, if that, because I care for my hair weekly. Okay, so I have intentional wash days where I wash, I deep condition, I do a hot oil scalp treatment. It's very intentional. I usually also do a spiritual bath that day, so that way I can dunk my whole body in the water and I am aligning from head to toe. Okay. um, but you can use intentional wash days. I know you're busy. You can plan one day a month to have an intentional wash day. Obviously more if your hair needs more washing than the one once a month. um Using protective styles, which also helps you to not have to wash your hair as often, because it's in a style that's protecting it for an extended amount of time. And then using scalp care, especially when you are using a protective style, because you don't want to damage your hair while you are trying to protect it. Also, I will be doing a video on hair care, as I said. So I'll have a few more tips about that, but those are the basics. And a suggestion that I have when it comes to that is to let go of shame and comparison. Let go of the stories that you heard of how difficult your hair is, or whatever experiences you may have had with your hair. Figure out what works for you. Try more than the products that you've always used. If your hair doesn't look or doesn't feel or is not acting the way you believe that it should, go to a professional, get a consultation. For me, I'm trying out different products to see what fits best. Um, but yeah, instead of feeling ashamed for the experiences that you may have had, create new ones that align with the relationship you want to have with your hair. Number 7 is moving your body and or exercising. Okay. Why should you move your body? Why should you exercise? Number one, you should move your body because when you don't, you have stagnant energy. Okay. Whether it be stagnant negative energy or stagnant positive energy, any energy that is stagnant is blocking something. Okay. So when you move your body, you're giving yourself an opportunity to release um the energy that is not serving you, and it allows you to regulate the energy that is serving your wellness. All right. um Also, exercising helps to strengthen your body, especially after having a child. Okay, our body, it's pretty much starting off from scratch. All right. You know why babies can't walk right out the womb? Because their muscles are not prepared for it. All right. So after you have a baby, your muscles are not prepared for a lot of things that you were just used to doing not so many months ago. All right. So moving your body and exercising are going to help you to I was going to say to push past that, but to grow past your limitations. Okay. How can you do that? Being a busy mama, you can walk, you can use just stretching in general, when you're on the floor with your baby, or whatever you may be doing, or whatever, take a moment to stretch. Try doing yoga, you know, um, even looking up different stretches. If you have a partner, that your partner can stretch you, when they come home from work or like on the weekends or something like that. Figure out what works for you. Every time you pick up your baby with intention. There are a lot of like mommy and me exercise classes that are available. Look those up. um, or maybe go on YouTube and see if you can find one for free that you can just do at home with your kid. And something else that I suggest is to listen to your body instead of trying to force it. One thing that I had a hard time accepting um, was that I'm not as strong or as flexible as I used to be. I used to be able to carry 4 or 5 gallons of water at one time, and I don't know who I thought it was. I almost pulled a muscle. But at the end of the day, instead of trying to force yourself to, get to a certain point, listen to your body and do what feels right, and gradually add to, what feels right to you. Number 8 is reading for nourishment. Okay. Reading with intention. Your intention may be to learn something new. Your intention may be to take your mind off of, your own thoughts or your responsibilities, even sometimes. Sometimes you just need a break. Um, Reading as rest for the mind. Okay. How can you do that? You can do that by reading with intention from spiritual books. So, like if you have a Bible, if you go to church every Sunday, read the entire book. Make a decision that that week you're going to read as many pages as you can of the book that the pastor was talking about this week. So if they had you in Psalms, set an intention to read, a certain amount of Psalms or a certain amount of whatever. You can read a book about personal growth because it's going to give you information that's going to help you, to help support your wellness in general. Or you can read like gentle fiction, stories about things that make you feel empowered, that make you feel supported, that make you feel included, you know? Um, and another way that you can do it is replace doom scrolling with reading, because people like to say, "Oh, I don't have time. When I'm going to have time for that?" We have a lot of time. We have a lot of time, but we waste a lot of it doing things just because we always did. Be more intentional. I think that's the theme of this whole thing, besides the self care, of course, is to be more intentional in general. So, yeah, reading for nourishment. You deserve it. Exercise your brain, give yourself new ideas, new vocabulary. A lot comes from reading. Also, join a book club, maybe. If you're not sure what you should read or where you should start, ask around, see what the people around you have been reading. And if nobody's been reading, maybe you should find a book to read and present to your friends and your family and the people in your circle so that they can find nourishment in reading. Because you're a mother. You need to be reading. Another way that you can sneak reading into your day is reading to your children. I know it's a baby, but guess what? That baby has to learn to speak. And how is it going to learn to speak? By hearing you read to your baby. You can also sing to your baby. That's really good too. But add reading to your repertoire, okay? Daily if possible. Number 9 is resting without guilt. Resting without it being a reward for working. I feel like as a mom, we often do that to ourselves. Like, it's like, oh, let me just get this done. Let me just get this done. And we're just working on things, or, cleaning and cooking and this and that and third. And it's like, all right, I've done enough. Maybe I should lay down and take a nap now. Plan your naps. Whether you do something today or not, plan to take a nap because you deserve to rest. Because your body needs it, because your mind needs it, because your spirit needs it, because your emotions need it. You deserve to rest. So take a moment to provide that to yourself because no one else is going to. All right. And that's no shade to the rest of the family. It's just the way life is. Okay. Um, Rest is a biological need, not a reward. Okay? How can you get in a nap? You can do power naps. You can nap with your child. Because them babies, when they finally do sleep, they sleep pretty hard. Get that 20, 30, 45-minute nap in and set an alarm. Get that nap in and then wake up and do a little bit of housework before the baby wakes up, and then you can jump back into your day. But yeah, you can do power naps, you can do early bedtimes, or you can do like quiet mornings where, if you wake up before your baby wakes up, yeah, you're awake, but just kind of veg in bed for a little while. Just kind of rest for a second. You can choose that time to also meditate. You can rest and meditate at the same time. You'll probably end up falling back asleep. So look at rest as a biological right and not a reward because you deserve it and you need it. All right. And let me suggest that you look at sleep or at rest as um, you teaching your nervous system how to feel safe. I think that a lot of times we are so used to being in survival mode and we're so used to running around and being the do it person, especially for our kids, that we forget that we need the same safety as they have, knowing that we would drop everything to do whatever we have to do for them. And that includes our spouses, our family members, our jobs, or whatever. The same way that you pour into those places, you also deserve to rest. That is a way to pour into yourself. So rest with intention because you deserve it. Number 10 is creating digital detox moments. Okay. What the hell is that? And that means put your phone down. Put it down. It means put your phone down. It means put your laptop away. It means turn the TV off. Turn the TV off. Turn the TV off. Turn all the electronics off. And just exist for a second. That could be your moment to read. That could be your moment to meditate. That could be your moment for self care. Put down the devices and just be. Detox your mind, body, emotions, spirit, blah, 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 from the digital world. Unplug for just a moment. Okay. Why? Because it's a way to protect your mental and emotional space. How? By having phone free mornings or phone free evenings. Or like, a lot of people don't eat at a dinner table anymore as a family. But if you are eating at the dinner table as a family, which I suggest, I don't currently. However, I suggest that you do it. It will shift your family in a positive way. Anyway, this is how to write everything down because I'll just start talking about stuff. You could do no phones at the dinner table. You can do no phones while we're in the car. This is our moment to talk. Something like that. That can help you to create that digital detox moment, but not interrupt your whole day. Because at the end of the day, it's 2026. We do need our phones. We do. I do understand that. However, you as a human being, as a creation from God, need to disconnect from that digital world and just exist without it for just a little while because it's going to be helpful to you. Another way you can do that if you cannot put your phone down, like say if you're somebody who's constantly on their phone for work or interacting with their children or whatever the case may be, you can be more selective about what you consume. So as far as like Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all that type of stuff, only watch things that are going to help you have a productive day. Only help things that are not going to stress you out. So don't open up your phone and the first thing you do is start reading about, war, reading about kidnappings, reading about a bunch of things that are going to, you know, make you emotionally triggered or overwhelmed or whatever the case may be. you know um Start your day without reading anything on your phone. Start your day with reading a blog from somebody that you know you trust their judgment. Read a newspaper. you know um, Join a newsletter, where you can read something positive when you first wake up instead of jumping right on your phone and seeing drama and seeing this and seeing that. Um, and shift your algorithm. Start deleting accounts that don't align with the version of you that you are now, and start following or searching for um, profiles or pages or whatever that are going to serve your wellness. One's about parenting, one's about self-care, one's about wellness, that type of thing. And whatever else you're interested in, but be more selective about what you consume. Number 11, eat with intention. Don't just grab whatever you can find. Stop doing that. It doesn't help anything. It might feel right in the moment, but it always comes back to bite you in the ass, okay? I know. I know. I'm right there with you. But we got to make a change. If you want to see a change, you got to make a change, right? Right? Right. Okay. So, with that being said, we are going to be eating for nutrition, eating for hormone balance, all right? Eating for energy. You see where I'm going? You see where I'm going? All right, you're going to eat whole foods. You're going to hydrate. You're going to find some type of mineral support, like daily vitamins. Continuing to take prenatals. How can you do that? I lean a lot on protein shakes, meal prepping, and like healthy recipes. Because then the portions and the fats and all that stuff is already figured out for you, and all you have to do is decide if that's what you want. Um, and with the eating with intention, I want your perspective or your outlook on eating with intention to be to give yourself grace, to choose grace over restriction. Yes, you're being restricted because you're going to cut out things that are not serving you, right? But you're not going to eat things that are going to make you miserable, okay? Eat things that you like to eat, but just do it with intention. Be intentional about nourishing your body, not I didn't eat those days, so let me just eat something. No, you shouldn't just eat something. You should eat something that's going to nourish your body. Okay? Why? Because you deserve it. Why? Because you're worthy of it. All right. We're going to do that one too. Number 12 is to be in nature. Go outside. Go outside. Okay? Why? Because leaving your house can help to relieve some stress, especially when you have children. Okay? Also, we come from nature. So naturally, going to nature is going to help you to realign. Okay? You may not know, well, I'm going to go into nature and then what? I'm just going to stand out in the middle of the freaking street breathing. You could do that if you're comfortable with it. I mean, not in the middle of the street because clearly you don't want to get hit by a car or any other vehicle for that matter. But, okay, you are going to do things like grounding. All right. If you have a backyard, if you have a front yard, if you have any patch of grass or dirt um, near your house, you go outside without your shoes on. You can just stand out there in the sunlight, soaking up. Obviously, you can't right now because it's February, unless you're somewhere warm. But my point is, you have options, okay? So let's say, all right, it's winter. What am I supposed to do in the winter? Clearly, don't take off your shoes, but you can still go outside, let the sun shine on your face, take a few deep breaths in some fresh air, not just the stale air that's in your apartment. How often do you open your windows? Okay. Hopefully, you'll open them more often now to just let some fresh air in and out. But you also need to leave your house and be out in fresh air to receive it. Am I right? Am I right? I think so. Right. So, being out in nature can help with stress relief and it can help with connection, especially with people who I feel like there's a loneliness epidemic. And I think people are not used to enjoying solitude anymore. They've forgotten how to just go for a walk and enjoy their own company. Um, and so being out in nature can help you to reconnect to yourself, reconnect to spirit, reconnect to nature, and maybe you will meet some new people and reconnect to community. All right. Um, and as far as being out in nature, even just 1 minute, 3 minutes, 5 minutes count. All right. Just set the intention, do the thing, and see how it affects you. If it affects you positively, then continue to do it. If it doesn't affect you positively, if nothing happens, try it again. If you try it again and nothing happens, try a different method. We're just not accepting whatever, okay? Not even from ourselves. So get to work, get in nature. Number 13, lucky 13, is prayer and affirmations. Okay. Now, prayer and affirmations are tools that will allow you to speak life over your mind, body, and the season that you're in. Okay. If you know, you know. And if you don't know, then do some research, reach out to me, ask people that you know that are, you know, using these practices. What you don't know, you don't know. But if you want to know, all you got to do is ask. So do whatever research you need to do to get into prayer and to get into affirmations. Again, I am available to support you in that area. So just reach out. Whether you want to do a meet and manifest session with me, which is only 30 minutes, or you want to do a full coaching session with me, which is an hour, to dive deeper into prayer and affirmations and why it's helpful and how I can do it and where I can learn and research and all that resources and all that type of stuff, reach out. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm doing this video, because I want to find the people who may need the information, the resources, the techniques, the practices, the experiences that I have. Okay? That's why I'm here. This is a part of my purpose as far as I'm concerned. So, whatever I can give, I don't know what to give until you ask. So, just reach out. How can you add prayer and affirmations into your life? Okay. You can do, like, for me, I like to do a morning prayer. So as soon as I wake up, I pray. Sometimes I pray out loud. Sometimes I pray in my head. Sometimes I pray while I'm walking into the bathroom. You do it how you do it. Okay. You just make it happen. You're thanking God. You're thanking spirit, you're thinking, whoever, whatever it is that you believe is bigger than you, whatever you think, who, whatever you think brought you into this world, you're thinking that, I'll just say God, because what other ways to explain it? It is what it is. You're thanking God for waking you up that morning. You're thanking God for whatever day you had the day before, whether it was a good or bad one. You had it, and you woke up to have another one. I like to start in the morning with a morning prayer. And then I also like to do affirmations in the mirror. So after I brush my teeth, even before I brush my teeth, I'll do affirmations. After I brush my teeth, I'll do affirmations to set the intention for the day. Um, Usually before I'm doing anything and before I pivot in my day, I just say some affirmations, set intentions for how I want whatever the thing is I want to go. So say if I'm cooking dinner for my family, if I'm cooking lunch for my family, breakfast, whatever, I'll say, God, I pray that, or if I'm doing prayer, I'll say, God, I pray that I nourish my family. I pray that this food satiates them. I pray that they enjoy the food. I pray, blah, 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 blah. Also, affirmations is what I was originally talking about. Affirmations, my food is healthy. My food heals the soul. My food warms my family's heart. Whatever it is that you want to infuse into your food. Like when people say, oh, my grandmother cooks with love. Yeah. Use affirmations. I love my family. I love myself. I love to cook for my family. I love being able to provide food to my family. Affirmations. Okay. Um, and why? Why should you do this? Because it helps to strengthen your faith. It helps to grow your spirituality, and it helps you to really hear your inner wisdom. And it helps you to, what's the word, really center yourself, in my opinion. And since you're watching my video, what I say goes. Anyway, add affirmations and prayers to your holistic self-care. And the 14th and final practice is having community and support. Okay. It takes a village to raise a child, but guess what? The child turns into an adult and it still takes a village. You were never meant to do life alone. You were definitely not meant to raise a child alone. So, with that being said, you can join a community, you can create a community, or you can lean into a community that you're already that you're already a part of. You can use services like coaching with someone like me. You can join maybe like a sister circle. Maybe your church may have one, or a local organization may have one. You can go to therapy that can help you to find a community that you can fit into. You can go to trusted places like cafes, yoga studios, even the gym, daycare centers, library. Go to places that you feel like you may find like-minded people, or people who can be supportive to you, um, to find support and community. And what I suggest is to try asking for help as self-care. A lot of us have a hard time asking for help because we're afraid of rejection, because it's traumatic to hear no, or to feel like someone can't, or isn't available to help you when you're in need. So ask for help radically. That's what I started doing. I just started asking for help just to see if people would help me. Not just random people I trust and love. But I just started asking for help even when I didn't need help, just to see who I could trust to ask for help, because I wasn't sure for a while. But do what you have to figure out what works best with you. I mean, works best for you. And if you would like to work with me as a coach to figure these things out, to come up with an action plan, um, I'm here and I'm excited to work with you if that's what you see fit. If you've made it this far, thank you so much. In closing, all right, you don't need to do all 14 at once. Okay, pick one, pick two, pick one, two, or three, you know, practices to start this week. And just see where it goes. Whatever is easiest, continue to do that. Do that for a while. And if you can add other things on top of that, then then you should. Also remember, it should be consistency over perfection. Okay, it's not important to do all the things. What's important is to do the things that serve your wellness. You see, so I don't want you to be more overwhelmed than you already are. I want you to feel relaxed. I want you to feel like you have tools and you have opportunities to pour into yourself, to catch your breath, to get well, to heal, to love, to laugh, to play, to all the things. Okay. Like, subscribe, share to a woman that you admire, that you love. Share to someone who you believe deserves self-care, deserves radical self-love. Send this to them so they have a few practices that they can maybe implement into their life. I've also included a free self-care guide and a free self-care journal prompt that you can download. So look down there, click the tabs and all that stuff for that. And I encourage you to work with me as your wellness coach to help you with the action plan on how to implement these practices in your life. Thanks again for being here. Again, I'm Danger the Positivity Plug, your wellness coach. Have a positive and productive day.